What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike. Again, just want to check in with you guys and give you a very basic leg day home workout that you can do. And this is again for the beginners, but this is also a progression from even if you're in rehab, if you're someone who just came off of a leg injury, or you're noticing that your therapist told you, hey, my legs aren't as strong as they need to be, or you're just like, hey, I've been having a lot of falls. Whether you're a younger person or older person, or your balance is just off, we all have falls, unfortunately. And as if we're not strengthening our legs enough, falls becoming a lot more prevalent and a lot more detrimental to our overall health. Falls can be scary, particularly for our older population. Falls can be very scary. So I'm going to show you guys just some very basic tips and tricks that you can do at home. And again, I'm about saving money because life is expensive, life is hard. So if you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on gym memberships and this piece of home exercise equipment and that piece of home exercise equipment, I'm gonna show you guys how I can help you out the best. So one of the things I always say is have a chair. If you need something stable to hold on to, like a counter or something like that, have that also. I'm gonna show you guys just a very basic progression. Okay. Again, you'll be around my kitchen a little bit because again I'm at the countertop, so you'll be seeing my kitchen just a tad bit. And again, here we go. So going from here. Again, if you remember the video from yesterday, you remember the same area. Again, I have my chair right here. We go from here, okay? So, if you're just working on your overall balance and your posture and your leg strength, you can hold on both hands. Sit down, nice and tall, and up. Down, and up. Down, and up. Nice, slow, and controlled. From there, another way that you can progress is going from 2 hands to 1 hand. Again, a tactile cue, but not as much support, so it makes it a little bit harder. So from here, 1 hand, again, down, nice and tall posture, and up. Down, up, down, up. From there, we reduce the amount of support that you have. So from 1 hand to 1 finger, a slight tactile cue, just to know, hey, I have support here. Just a finger down, nice and tall posture, up, down, nice and tall posture, up, down, nice tall posture, up. From there, we progress even more. So go from our tactile cue, just having our hands hover. Not touching, just hovering. It's there just in case if you need it. If you don't need it, that's better. But if you need it, it's there. So we just have our hands hovering. See, hands are touching. This is touching, this is here. And then up. Down and up. Again, let's say if you do lose your balance a little bit, you have something to hold on to. But again, the goal is not to hold on, it's just to have our hands hovering, okay? Down and up. Perfect. Okay. So, very basic way, particularly for people who are working on their overall control. This is, typically for our older population whose legs are really weak, or someone who's just coming off of an injury, whether it's in the hospital for whatever reason, whether they have some kind of paralysis going on, someone who just needs that extra support for their legs and they're not up to adding weight, they're not up to a regular body weight squat. This is a perfect introductory way of getting up, because we're all about finding out ways to make things easier or harder for us depending where we're at in our fitness journey, so we can keep progressing to where we need to be eventually. Okay, so we start there. Let's say if you're like, okay, I'm good there, I want to go to body weight squats. Okay, perfect. A way you can go to your body weight squats is, again, I'm going to take you guys around here a little bit. Okay, again, got my chair. Now we have your hands up here. If you want to just do more of like a box squat, you have your chair. Just sit down, touch down, and up. Touch down, and up. touchdown, up, touchdown, up. From there, you can lose a chair and do a regular squat. Here and up, here and up. Posture nice and tall, here and up. But let's say if you're past that, because we're about getting stronger, improving as much as we can. What if you're past that? What if you're like, hey, I want to do something that's a little bit more explosive, or I want to go ahead and add weight. What can I do? Well, I got a perfect dumbbell for you. A water bottle, perfect dumbbell. You can adjust the weight as you need to. If you want to make it a little bit heavier, fill up all the way to the top. If you want to make it a little bit lighter, empty out some water. Perfect adjustable dumbbell. This is a gallon thing. A gallon, usually about 8 pounds, 8 to 10 pounds or so. So it's not super, super heavy, but it adds some extra weight to you. Okay? Again, I'll show you how to use it real quick. It's super easy. You're going to use it more of like a kettlebell type style, if you will. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. Put you down. Okay? So again, you got your gallon right here. We're doing a box squat. Here and here. Here and here again. Here and here. Okay? Perfect, perfect, perfect. From there, what we'll do next is, let's say if you want to do something single leg, we can do some single leg stuff also. We can we're all about making it easy as we can. We're progressing from rehab, from, hey, I'm just learning how to walk again, to, hey, I can do 15 squats in a row. We're progressing. Then, as we progress, we make things a little bit harder. We reduce the stability. We add weight. We add reps. We add sets. There's always a way that you can progress. The only limitation to your progression is your imagination. It's like the only way that you can limit your activity is your imagination. So again, we have our gallon water bottle, perfect dumbbell. Again, let's say we're going single leg stuff. Okay, let's show you some single leg stuff. Easy peasy. So, going back here, got my chair, I got my jug. Let's say we're not ready for the jug yet. We have our countertop. Hold on to something nice and steady and stable. Okay? Here, leg up, down, and up. Down, and up. Down, and up. One more time. Down, and up. And again, you'll progress that the same exact way that you will progress the squat. You'll go from holding on to one finger, to having your hand hovering over it, to not having anything at all. If you want to have something in front of you, you have something in front of you that would be a little bit safer compared to the side. But again, you can adjust it that way. Now, let's say if you want to add weight. How do you add weight? We have our dumbbell, we have our water bottle, our kettlebell, whatever you want to use. We have that as an option for us, okay? So, bring you guys back down here. Make sure you guys can see me. We got our kettlebell. Leg popped up here. Here. Down. Up. Down. Up. And again, you're loading that front leg. The back leg is there just as a kickstand, okay? Here. 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 All right? Easy peasy. Again, there's so many things that we have around our houses that you don't need to buy a bunch of fancy equipment. If you want to, go ahead. Do I like fancy equipment? Of course I like fancy equipment. It's fun. You can do a lot of different things. You can adjust your weight. And again, this is only go up to 8 pounds. Is it going to add some resistance? Yes. Is it going to be a game changer for a lot of people? Yes. Are some people too strong for that? Yes. So what can you do? Hey, what else can I do? Oh, I have a book bag. I can strap that around my back, hold it in my front, if I'm just cradling like that. There's so many different things that you can do. Let's say if you want to do more of the plyometric stuff, You want to do a plyometric as a box squat. Again, just how we did with the regular squats. You're sitting down, as soon as your butt touches, you're jumping up, you're launching up. That works a lot more, that plyometric, that explosive power that a lot of people use, particularly in sports. But it's also something that we don't do enough as we get older. Because I'll ask you guys straight up, when was the last time you jumped? When was the last time you ran at full speed? I'll wait, because it usually, unless there's a specific reason to do it as an adult, we don't. We lose that ability. We forget that, we're meant to jump, we're meant to run, we're meant to crawl, we're meant to do all of these things. We're meant to move our bodies in multi-dimensional planes. We're not just one-dimensional beings or two-dimensional beings. We're three-dimensional beings. We live in this crazy world that has depth and height and longitude and latitude and all these different areas, but we spend so much time just forward. When was the last time you crawled? I'll wait. When was the last time you jumped? I'll wait. When was the last time you laid on your back besides going to bed? I'll wait. We don't do those things. Like, again, unless you're like in a sport, typically speaking, or unless you're in some kind of activity that is going to put you through those different motions, whether you're in a martial arts like jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kung fu, MMA, or unless you're, particularly like that, or unless you're like a obstacle course runner. Again, I've done a couple obstacle courses myself, so I know what it's like. But unless you're an obstacle course runner, you don't crawl. Unless you're a wrestler, you don't grapple. You don't move around. You don't do those different activities unless you're in a sport, or unless you're like in high school or something like that. Adults, we typically don't jump after high school unless you're in a sport, or unless you're a runner. We don't run. And even our marathon runners, our 5Kers, our half marathon runners, they run, but oftentimes they don't sprint at full speed. When's the last time you sprinted at full speed? It's sad to think, but it's like we don't do the things that we used to do. Just because we hit a certain age and we think, there's no need for it, we stop doing those things. Where on the contrary, we actually need to do those things more often. Because just like the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. And there's so much strength, so much ability that we lose because we don't move. Our posture is trash because of the sedentary lifestyles that we have. We're in this constant flex position like this. So that's why our posture is so trash. Sometimes that's why we get headaches, because there's tension headaches, there's postural issues. We don't move enough. We don't move our bodies in the ways that they can move. We move forward. That's it. Now, there's nothing wrong with moving forward, but when was the last time you accelerated your pace going forward, unless you were late for a meeting? When was the last time you were walking forward and you took like an automatic sharp left turn or a sharp right turn? Or when was the last time you walked backwards? When was the last time you jumped? When was the last time you crawled? When was the last time you got on all fours? When was the last time you laid on your stomach? When was the last time you've done any of these things that we feel like we don't need to do, because why are we doing them? There's so many reasons why we need to do different things. And again, particularly as we're getting older, and particularly, unfortunately for my ladies, because estrogen does you guys a lot of disservice, unfortunately. It's kind of trash sometimes. But we get weaker as we age. And there's so many things that happen. You've seen the LifeAlert commercials. I fall and I can't get up. Why can't you get up? Because we don't have any strength. We don't have any leg strength. We don't have any upper body strength. We don't have any control with our legs. So we can add control back into our lives. We can reduce so many of these issues that we see with our older population. As we're moving, as we're building strength, you're actually strengthening your muscle, you're strengthening your tendons, you're strengthening your bones, and your bones are able to become a lot more resilient, so they're not as fragile. Because again, so and so fell, hurt a hip, she broke her hip. But if her legs are stronger, she had a little bit better balance. If her bones are stronger, she may have had a bruise on her hip, but she may not have broken her hip. And that's why strength training is so important. No matter who you are, no matter what your age is, strength training is so important. Am I saying that you have to, no, back squat 300 pounds? No. But am I saying that you need to be able to get off the ground? Yes. Am I saying that you need to be able to bench press, 300 pounds for reps? No, I'm not saying that at all. But am I saying that you should be able to do any kind of motion that you want to do? Yes. Don't let age, circumstance limit your abilities to do anything. Because again, I will give credit, because there are certain things that abilities limit us with, different prowesses and things like that. That more advanced thing. But for the typical person, we don't move just because we don't move. If there's no physical excuse, like physical reason for you not to move, you should be moving. Again, not saying you gotta go crawl everywhere or run backwards everywhere, but you should be able to do that if you wanted to. Because how often people say, "Oh, I wish I could do this, but I can't do this because my knee, because my hip, my back hurts, this and that and the other." Why? We don't have to go that route. We can be better than the age-related issues, the age-related joint issues and muscle weakness and back issues that we have. We can be better than that. You just have to want it. Now, again, are there limitations to that? Yeah, there's limitations to that. I definitely accept that there are limitations to that. And we can't always do all the things that we want to do. But if you are an able-bodied person, you should be able to move without having lack of a desire to want to move. I'll put it that way. Because the only thing that's stopping the vast majority from us moving is laziness. Straight up. Do I get lazy sometimes? Oh yeah, I get lazy sometimes. That couch gets comfortable. Like, I ain't got the most fancy couch in the world, but that couch gets mad comfortable. And sometimes I just want to sit there, watch my TV shows, this and that and the other. But the more you move now, the more you'll be able to move later. We want you to be able to do as much as you want for as long as you want to without physical limitations stopping you. My neck hurts, my back hurts. I'm not strong enough to lift up this bag of soil if I want to go garden. I don't have the shoulder range of motion to get things out of the cabinet. I'm afraid that if I squat down, that I won't be able to get up. Let's limit those. Let's limit those things that we can limit, and let's strengthen as much as we can with whatever strength we have, whichever range of motion that we have. Let's work in those ranges of motion so we can get you as strong as you want to be. The only difference between me and the average 34-year-old that doesn't want to move is me just wanting to move. I enjoy exercise. There's this video I saw of this lady. She didn't start exercising until she was in her 60s, I think. I think she was like in her 60s. And it was a pact that she made with her sister that they wanted to move. And something happened and her sister passed away. But she's like, I made this pact with my sister, so I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep moving. And I'm going to keep moving. And she's legit in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the oldest bodybuilder. And she didn't start lifting until she was in her 60s. So I don't care how old you are, unless you're bedbound, then find a way to move. Even if you're bedbound, find a way to roll in bed to reduce those pressure sores. Because there's so many things that we can do. We may not be able to do everything that we want to do, but we can always do something. So find something that you can do. Push yourself to whichever limit you can, and keep pushing yourself. Don't limit yourself just because you don't have a gym membership, because your balance is a little off, because you're 65, because you're 10 and they say you can't lift weights. Little kids can lift weights. It's not going to stunt their growth. The only thing, to my knowledge, that will actually stunt someone's growth is that injury to the actual birth plate. That myth has been debunked years and years and years ago. Don't fall for that fallacy. And to be honest, we allow kids to play football and soccer. What's more dangerous, football or doing a dumbbell curl? Let me know. But again, just want to come chop it up with you guys a little bit. Show you guys just some very basic things that you can do at home with the equipment that you have at home. Again, if you got a chair, you can do squats. If you got a gallon water bottle, you got to weight. If you got a book bag with books, you gotta wait. If you got a child, you gotta wait. So until next time, later.